on the industry's most wanted podcast.
Industries
You
most
hear it.
wanted.
And I have the beautiful one and only TiffMarie checking in with me tonight. How are you, beautiful?
I am good. How are you?
I'm doing well, doing well. It's been a busy night so far, and I'm so excited that you were able to take the time with us tonight, and join us here on the live stream. So go ahead and give us that official introduction.
Hey, yeah, I am TiffMarie, straight out of Chicago, R&B artist. So, yeah, I'm definitely a vibe.
A whole vibe. Big shout out to Chicago producing some dope R&B artists. I had a young man that was here with me just a few days ago. He came all the way down from Chicago to interview with me. He goes by the name of Nashawn Rains. And man, he can sing. So Chicago is producing some superstars, including yourself.
Yes,
Did you grow up there?
I did.
You did. Tell us about that. Take us back to your childhood growing up around the Chicago area.
Yeah, so I grew up on the south side of Chicago. And, it was a little rough, but I had like a great childhood. It was
Okay.
always me, my mom, my grandmother. We had like a really big family.
Yeah.
And so during that time, I spent, a lot of time in church. And so it was almost like it felt like every day,
Yeah.
an everyday thing. So, I mean, that's basically, what I did. I spent a lot of time just in the church, on the block, hanging with friends uh,
Yeah.
before like relocating.
So, were you doing gospel music at any time?
I'm sorry.
Were you doing any gospel music that you were in the church a lot?
Yeah, so I was in the church a lot, and so if you are gonna be in church, you gotta find something fun to do. So I joined the choir. We had a dope choir. We didn't have all the fancy instruments, but it was like one of those hole in the wall shout out to foundation. And it was just easy to survive. And so when I became 12, I was able to join the choir, and I absolutely loved it.
That is amazing. I love hearing people's journey of how they got to where they are. And, a lot of them are very similar, but it's still your own journey. It's your own story. When did you discover that music was for you?
I always knew music was for me. My family, well, I wouldn't say my entire family, but my dad is rooted in music. He's a producer. So
Okay.
I watched him like record all the time with different artists. And I was just like fascinated by the entire process. And even though
Yes.
I was doing gospel music, to see him do R&B, I fell in love with it and just wanted to be a part of it. And since it was like that 90s era,
Yeah.
I was in love.
Absolutely. 90s R&B, man, like gosh, I could reminisce. Because that was an era of music that had a heavy influence on me, like, I would say 90s and early 2000s, and just taking it back, thinking about all the dope, R&B. There was a lot of groups that were out at that time. But it seems like, over the years people have gotten away from doing a lot of R&B. They've gotten away from being in groups. I'm praying that that type of R&B makes a comeback, because it sounds like that's something that you definitely believe in as well.
It is. I love it. I love the sound. I try to take elements of that and incorporate it to what I'm doing today.
Yeah.
I feel like we can't like, as much as I would love to like relive that. Um, it's a magical time. So I just try to take that and put a spin on it to make it as modern as possible.
Absolutely. And you already have guests checking in. Shout out to everybody checking in, showing love. Thank you. We appreciate you being here on Industry's Most Wanted. The one thing about being an artist, one of the hardest things to do is get people to support you.
Yeah.
So we're grateful for the ones that are tuned in. We're live on multiple platforms. We're on YouTube, we're on Twitter, we're on Twitch, and we're on 2 Facebook pages. So wherever you're catching us at, thank you for being here. We've got the lovely, beautiful, talented TiffMarie checking in. She's coming from the Chicago area, definitely doing her thing. So take us back to when you first started doing music. What was the first single or body of work that you released out there on the digital platforms for the world to hear?
Oh my goodness, the first. Actually, it wasn't that long ago. I did an EP. It was
Okay.
called Never Too Late. And this was just, it was me just getting back out into doing music and just trying to see where I fit and the kind of style I wanted to do. I've been recording since I was about 13. And, as you're growing, you take it seriously, then you're trying to, still live and, things, happen. So, Never Too Late was the first EP that I had did. And it was kind of like where I was in my life at that particular point. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's important that as an artist, you have to pour yourself into your music. People want to feel like they're a part of your situation and what you got going on. And a big part of that is them being able to resonate and relate to your music.
Yeah.
So all the music that you do write about and that you perform, is it personal experiences and or experiences that maybe people close to you have been through?
Yeah. Some of it are things that I have experienced, and other times it's things that I know other people have experienced, or it could
Yeah.
just be something like I could have seen, or whether it's from a TV show or something. I just like being creative, and so I find ways to tell stories from things that are like happen around me.
Absolutely. So tell us the real deal. What is the music scene like in your area for independent artists that are coming up in the business?
Um, I think for independent artists, it's a real grind. Like
Yeah.
I I can't stress that enough. You have to do everything yourself, especially if you
Yes.
don't have a team. But I think with doing that, it does make you business savvy. And if you're not business savvy, it makes you become business savvy. Um,
Yes.
so I will say, especially on this side of things, especially if you're doing R&B, you have to find ways to kind of be relevant, be in people's faces, because it's
Yes.
not really a big genre here, which is okay because we find ways to get creative and just keep this R&B thing going. I don't think it's dead. We just find different ways to make it and keep it relevant. So.
Absolutely. I think that, being a singer today you're right. It's a little tougher because one thing that I noticed when I moved to Atlanta 10 years ago, I was already involved in the music business and I moved here from Tampa and I was doing artist showcases in Tampa. So I said, well, when I moved to Atlanta, I absolutely want to continue doing them. And what I quickly learned was there was zero platforms for R&B artists. None. Every showcase was catered to rappers, and then a few R&B artists would be sprinkled in the mix, but there was nothing. So I started a whole entire R&B showcase that I did for about 2 years up until right before the pandemic hit. I backed away from, of course, everything got shut down, but man, it was such a vibe because everybody came out with the anticipation that this is going to be a grown and sexy night. We're going to hear some good R&B music, and I really seriously thought about potentially bringing it back, maybe even if it's just once a quarter or something like that, because there's just not a lot of platforms. So it makes it a little bit tougher, as an independent artist to get that shine and that recognition that you deserve because not too many people are putting those type of platforms together.
That is true. It's not a lot. So the ones that do showcase R&B, it's we cling to that. We hold on to that. It's like real diamonds in the rough, and like we thank people for like uplifting and showcasing us. So yeah.
Absolutely, because you don't want to show up at a case and the whole night they're doing like trap rap and the whole club is like, turn the club up. And then all of a sudden you jump on and you're singing like a love ballad. People, you know what I'm saying? Like it
Yeah.
just, you want to be in an environment where people are going to respect what you do because this is no shade to the rappers out there, but I think as a singer, you have to put a lot more into what you do to get your vocals right.
That is true. That is true.
Do you have a setup at your house where you can record yourself, or do you always go to the studio?
So actually, I do. Like right behind me is like this is the whole.
Oh yeah, I see it now. I see the ball back there. What do they call that thing?
Yeah, I have like a whole setup here. I have like my laptop. Yeah, which is all I need. My monitor. And so yeah, I record here. I really do just mostly my prototypes. I don't consider myself like a producer. Like I will not. Well, I will not produce myself. I'll lay down everything that I need, like whether it's my leads, my backgrounds, all of that
Yeah.
things, and then I'll take it and I'll go get it produced at a bigger studio.
Understood. Absolutely. But that's dope that you got to create a space in your house because you could wake up one day and have something heavy on your heart. And now you don't have to worry about picking up the phone, booking a studio session, driving to the studio. They might not be able to get you in that day. And now you don't lost that feeling. If you got your own setup, you can at least lay it down with that emotion that you're feeling because you're never going to get that same feeling back again.
You're not, and I've learned that like that's something that I'm kind of working on. Like if I'm recording and I'm in that mode and I run into like a roadblock or whatever, I'll just be like, screw it. Because I notice if I do it again, I don't feel the same way. That's an
Absolutely.
entire different feeling. Like so, I feel like that momentum is kind of lost. Um,
Absolutely.
so yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. If you try to go back and re-record one of your songs, it's not gonna come out the same as it did the first time around.
I did that for an entire EP when I lost
Oh,
all my
wow.
music. Oh my goodness, I was so upset, and I was like, okay, I really have to get this done, and I redid it, and I realized. I mean, for me, I was like, it doesn't sound the same. I mean, no one had heard it, so it didn't matter. What they were hearing was it was for the first time. But for me, I'm like, this is not this is not capturing the moment
Yeah.
I already had. So
Absolutely, absolutely, because you almost feel like you're trying to force it to sound the way it did before, and it's just not gonna come out the same. So, yeah, I think it's important as an artist that you, at minimum, have like, I see it now that you got your studio set up back there. Like, that's beautiful. That's all you need, and if you know how to record yourself and then you could send it off to be mixed and mastered, that's amazing.
yes.
So I know you have a lot of people supporting you. There's people that are tuned in watching the interview right now. What are some of the things that you feel is important as an artist to do to stay engaged with the people that are supporting you?
I'm just gonna be real, real honest.
Keep
I'm a
it G, girl.
I'm a really like shy person. Like
Okay.
and not like not when it comes to performing, not when it comes like that, but like for people to just be, I don't know, like in tune, like with everything that I have going on. So for me, it's just like I want to make sure that I'm giving as much music as possible
Yeah.
when I can. I try not to wait too long until I'm dropping something. I'll go live when I say every now and then. I literally mean every now and then. I'm not like a live like person. Um,
Understood.
but that's definitely one of the things that artists, are doing. For me, it's just really giving them the creative parts of myself, whether it's the content, it's the new music,
Yeah.
um, keeping them engaged in different ways with polls. Do you think I should do a video for this, or how you feel about that? So that's how I kind of keep my audience engaged.
No, that's great. I love those polls are absolutely key because not only does it keep your supporters and your fans engaged, but it also just keeps your social media engagement up.
Mhm.
Like that's what our social media wants us to do. They want us to utilize every aspect of it, all the features. They want you to go live from time to time. They want you to put them polls out there. They want you to post. And that's how the algorithm stays up. In potentially new fans or new supporters can stumble across your page and be like, man, she's really dope. Absolutely. Throughout your journey in music, have you had any weird or strange requests from any of your fans or supporters?
Actually, no, I have
Okay.
not had any. No, I have not.
Not yet. It's coming though.
Not yet.
Because you're an attractive female, so it's like sometimes I don't know. It's like I'm an OG to a lot of these artists, but I still be getting some weird stuff. I'm just like, look, cut out all the small talk. I don't need none of that. Just get to the point.
Yeah, I've been lucky enough as of right now. It hasn't been anything weird. The only thing I'm getting is like, and it's mostly like so it'll be from like rappers, like let's collab and things like that. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, but other than that, it hasn't been anything too crazy.
That's good. Hopefully it stay that way. Shout out to everybody checking in. I see you guys over there on Facebook tuned in. You know what I'm saying? We got the beautiful TiffMarie. We're going to do this later on, but we'll do it right now since we got people that are tuning in through Facebook and other platforms. Tell them where they can follow you at on your socials.
Yeah, so Instagram, it's ITZ underscore Tiff Marie. That's no spaces. You'll actually see it too in my caption. No spaces. So you can definitely follow me on Instagram. YouTube, the same thing. It's Tiff Marie. Well, actually,
Absolutely.
that's Tiff Marie. Yes.
She's very easy to find. I know when I typed it in, like I barely typed it in and it already popped up. Like I didn't even have to put the whole name in there, So that's definitely dope. Since you've started doing music, it's really about creating memories, just like in life. We have to create memories. What's been one of your most memorable moments so far?
My most memorable moment. I think I'm still building on
Okay.
them. Um, that's a good one. I'm still building. I think because I'm still fresh. I
Yeah,
haven't
understood.
got it yet, but I'm sure that I will be getting them as I go along.
I know that's right. Cause next time she comes back, she be like, "Girl, guess what happened? You'll never guess what happened," and I'll be ready to hear it. Do you have a good team of people around you that are helping you?
I do. I do. That's what makes this easier to do. If I didn't have a
Yes,
team, I would be a little, well, I would probably be a lot more leery. But I definitely have a support system that is the forefront of everything that kind of lets me concentrate just on being creative, which helps a whole lot.
absolutely. Because we cannot do it by ourselves. Like you said, as an artist, you want to be able to focus on being the artist. You have to understand the business. But
Mhm.
once you have an understanding of it, you need somebody in place to handle the business so you can focus on being the artist.
Yep.
So, out of the people that's around you or maybe even, just watching other interviews, things of that nature, what would you say has been like the best piece of advice that you've been given or heard about this music business?
Don't take anything personal.
Ooh,
It's business.
that's a
And
good one.
I mean, that's just one of the things that just like stuck with me. I don't want to say I'm someone that wears their heart on their sleeve too much, but like you can never take anything personal in this game. You just got to keep it pushing. There are going to be people that like what you're doing. There are going to be people that's going to be like, no, that's not it. That's whack or whatever. So I think making sure that you have tough skin and as long as you believe what you're doing, it'll show and it'll touch the people it needs to touch. So I think,
Man, that was a great answer because you are absolutely correct, especially with social media. It's full of trolls. Like there's people that they live for getting on there and, you know, being disrespectful or throwing shade or hating on people. That's what they live for. Like that's what fuels them. But like you said, we can't take it personal, especially because we don't even know them people. We don't know them. They doing that to if they doing it to us, they doing it to other people too.
yeah. So
Most definitely. So what are some of the things that you're working on now? I know that, this is still something fairly new for you, taking it on a real professional level. People that are tuned in, talk to them about what you're working on right now.
so right now my single Sex Atlanta is out on all streaming platforms. I just did that not too long ago. And coming up, I'm definitely going to be working on the visuals for that. People have seemed to be very supportive of the record and really like it and think it's definitely something that needs a visual. So that's my next step. And then obviously working on performances as well.
Absolutely. So we're going to catch you out here in ATL coming up, right?
Yes, I will be back there. Hopefully, well, not hopefully, I will be back there in
There
like
you go.
The next month, what I have the next month and a half, I will be back there.
So, what do you have going on while you're out here, if you don't mind sharing?
So yeah, it will be the music video. I will actually be shooting in Atlanta, and then I will also have a recording session. Like,
Okay. Okay, that is really dope. Have you done music business out here before?
yes, I actually work with a producer out there who's really great, K Major, and also Buggy Beats. They're great. They just
Those are my guys. Shout out to Buggy Beats. That's so dope. And K Major is one of the most talented ever. I'm sorry. I got excited because I know them guys personally.
yes, I've been working with him on a couple of records. He actually did Real Bad, and then he actually was a feature on a song that I did a while back called Dance. So I enjoy working with him. Very talented singer songwriter,
Yes.
and just makes this whole thing just fun. So yeah,
Absolutely. So how did you link up with Buggy Beats? Because like that, he is just so talented.
he is actually everything was through K Major.
Okay.
I was just, I loved his sound.
Yep.
Management reached out and was like, hey, I got this artist, and he presented the record. And he actually liked the record, so I thought that was cool. And he got on it, and I'm like, definitely, I like the way, I like his sound. I know that he's done a lot of things for different artists. And so I wanted to see what that working with him would be like. He definitely pulls something out of me that's, I would say, I don't know how to describe it. He gives me a little bit more of a edge, so
Yeah.
to speak, and it comes off very natural. So yeah, start working, with him, and then I know Buggy works with him as well. So that's where I'm able to get my sound and my beats and all that good stuff.
Absolutely. I think it's important when you decide you're going to work with somebody, whether it be another artist, a producer, an engineer, that if they can't bring something out of you, they don't need to be working with that person. You know,
Agreed.
you want to be around people that not are going to pressure you, but they're going to slightly bring you out of your comfort zone, because that's where some of your best work's going to come from, when you step outside that comfort zone.
Definitely do that. The way I say things and the way he would probably say it is different, even though it's the same message. So,
Right, exactly, and it comes off differently. Like, you can say the same exact verbiage, but if you say it differently and your tone is different, it could come off totally different. So that's dope that you're allowing other people to give you some input on your music as well.
yes.
I think that's where a lot of artists they fail, is because they want it to be me, 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 me. They don't want to allow other people in to help them, when there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. And speaking of which, have you wrote for any other artist?
I have not. That is something that I want to do. That is
Okay.
definitely feel like it's going to be a challenge because I can easily write for myself, but to
Yeah.
actually do an entire song for someone else based off of their aura, their vibe, what experiences they've had, I would really love to do that.
Absolutely. And I think that's a business in itself right there, especially when artists start really catching a buzz and they're getting booked and they're on tour. They
Mhm.
may not have time to sit down and write their own music. So that's where these, I guess ghostwriters or, per se come in. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't know why that people have a stigma about that. I'm like, you
I
know,
I don't know if it's a stigma in R&B. I'm not sure. Maybe more so for like the rap culture.
rappers, yeah.
And if you didn't write your own bars and you didn't spit all this other stuff, I think it's more so for them. But like I think with R&B, like not that rapping is not telling a story, but there is a real story with R&B, and it's the build
Absolutely.
up. It's so I think you need multiple writers to kind of help guide and move the storyline along. Um,
Right.
so
No, absolutely, because with R&B music, there's so much emotion that can be poured into it, especially if you're like singing a love ballad or something like that.
yeah,
Of course, on the rap side, there's pain music, which there's obviously emotion poured into that as well. But I think love is like that universal language. Everybody wants love or needs love in their life, and a lot of that comes from the R&B music.
I agree.
So, with that being said, there's so many dope, talented artists out here. What would you say, like, set you apart from everybody else that's out here?
I would honestly say it's the element of the 90s that I'm taking with me.
Yes.
I'm not saying that other artists don't. I'm just really heavy on it, and you
Yeah.
can really tell with how my backgrounds are arranged and all the layering and things like that. So that's just something that's like naturally ingrained. And so I kind of wear that as a badge of honor.
I know that's right, as you should. You've been singing for a while, though. You said you started singing at what age?
I'm 12 in the choir, and then 13 is like when I started to like record and try to figure out like how to write a song. So yeah.
Got you. So, how would you say that your sound has evolved over the years?
Um, I have more to pull from. So back
Yeah.
then it was more like boppy and
Yeah.
and now it's more like real life situations. Things that, like I said, that as an adult you may have you probably gone through or learned some type of lesson. So I think from then to now it has a lot more meat substance to it than it had before. My voice was probably a lot lighter then, but it's like it
Yeah.
has it's more gritty, low tone. So I really kind of embraced that because I didn't like that at first, but I'm really kind of loving it now. So
Yeah. No,
that's
absolutely.
some differences.
Give us 2 or 3 artists that inspire you.
Mary J. Blige, she's my favorite R&B
I
artist.
love her. Shout out to Mary J.
Favorite, favorite ever. I'm always say my '90s girl. So Mary, Brandy, SWV, and if I have to be current, then of course I'm a Seven Streeter fan. I love
Okay.
Kehlani and Tink, the Janae Aiko. So those are the ladies that I kind of listen to on the modern side.
Man, yeah, shout out to Mary J. I watch Ghost and, like, she's, like, amazing on there, boy. She that mama that don't play.
Yeah, I love her. I love everything about her. She's everybody's favorite auntie.
Absolutely, and she has her own show now. It's called The Wind Down, where she's doing interviews and stuff, and I just love that over all the years, not only is she just remained such a beautiful person, but she's so active.
Yes.
That's the goal, it's like, even though if, and she's still making music, Good Morning Gorgeous is, man, what a beautiful record, one of her newer ones, but, like, she's still staying active and doing her thing. Is that something that, later on interests you to maybe get into film and acting?
I wouldn't mind. I want to have longevity for sure. So whether that's doing music or is venturing off into other things, like I would totally love it. Like I'm in love with the arts anyway. Anything that
Yeah.
has to do with the arts is definitely me. But yeah, once the music is kind of done, or I hate to say done because I'm never going to be done. If I'm not doing it as much, then yeah, I would definitely like to take other avenues of the arts for sure.
Awesome. So give us like 2 or 3 things on your bucket list that you wanna do or you wanna accomplish, and it doesn't even have to be music related. Things that you wanna make sure that you do in this lifetime.
Oh my goodness. Oh, in this lifetime. Oh, two or three things. Okay, this one is music related. I definitely want to win a Grammy. I would.
Mm.
That's just one of those things. I always watch the award show, so that's one of the things that's on my bucket list in my life.
It's coming. We're claiming it tonight.
Let's see. I'm gonna claim that. Let's see what else. I always wanted to feature with Mary J. Like that's my ultimate.
Yeah.
She's my favorite artist. And the third,
Where
um,
would you like to perform? You could give us that. What would be a city or an arena or a festival that you would love to perform at?
I I'm gonna have to say it's not what it used to be, but I'm always gonna say the BET Awards.
Okay, no, absolutely. That would be a major accomplishment.
Yeah, for sure.
There we go. So that's 3. All of them are gonna come to fruition because we spoke about it. We throwing it out there to the universe, you know what I'm saying? Boom.
It's out there.
God, receive that. Bless this young lady with all those opportunities. Mary J, we getting you on the line. We calling you up.
Ultimate.
That is dope. So do you have any type of events or anything coming up in your city?
In my city, not right now. Like this is not the city of R&B, but I'm definitely gonna be looking to get into some things. Definitely to really push this record. So hopefully within the next month or so, I'll be performing because I miss it. I actually really, really love it. This is definitely a way to get to connect, and with R&B,
Yes.
you don't have to be in the face and connecting with the audience. So I do plan to do that. But right now is it's all about making the music, getting this content ready. So I'm trying to gear up.
I know that's right. What is your favorite song out of your catalog for you to perform?
Huh. I'm no. It's probably gonna. I'm gonna say dance, even though those are not my probably like my best. It's not my best, but for sure my favorite.
Okay.
It has this like it's it's kind of boppy. You can still play it in the club.
Yeah.
It's sexy. That was the one that K Major was on. He definitely made it a whole vibe. So I really love that record. The beat was just crazy. So yeah, I'm gonna say dance is probably my favorite record to perform.
There you go. So definitely we're going to have to get a performance in with you guys when you come out here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, even if there's not an event going on, we're starting to do like live performances here at the studio. I would love for you to come by and do something like that. That would be amazing. And I haven't seen K Major in a few months now, so it would be dope to get him back in the studio. You know, he was here with me a few months ago and did an interview, and same thing with Buggy Beats. Definitely got to get you guys in here to do that performance. That'll be fire.
Yeah, I definitely would love to do that.
Yes, ma'am. Well, listen, I appreciate you taking some time with us tonight. Tell everybody one more time the current single that you're pushing, where they can find it, where it's available.
Yeah, so the current single is "Sex in Atlanta." Though you can have good sex anywhere. I just want to point that out.
I
But
know that's right. Yeah, girl.
Sex in Atlanta. It's on all streaming platforms, so whatever you use is definitely available. My Instagram is it's TiffMarie. That's ITZ underscore no spaces.
Most definitely. I know you have a lot of people that are supporting you, showing you love. Anybody that you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, so I definitely want to just shout out actually my entire support system from my manager, which is my husband, to my father, to my mother, like all of them. Like this is not possible without them because this artistry thing gets crazy and
Yes.
you definitely need people to lean on, fall on, especially on your worst days. So
Yes.
I definitely want to just shout them out because they
Absolutely. If she forgot you, charge it to the game, not to her heart. You know, one of the hardest things to do ever in life is remember all of our shout outs. We draw a blank when it comes to that question. Last but not least, before when we're going to check out a piece of the record, we are live, Industry's Most Wanted.
Industries most
It is the
wanted.
industry's most wanted podcast. We got Tiff Marie checking in tonight. So I need you to let the entire world know what makes you the industry's most wanted.
what makes me industry's most wanted? I would just say like my whole like aura and vibe is so chill. There's nothing like fake and or phony about me. What you see is what you get.
I love it.
So hey, you rocking, I'm rolling, and we're gonna go on this journey together. But that's what makes me interesting.
Absolutely. And that's a great answer. I love it. What you see is what you get. I love when people are just unapologetically themselves.
Yep.
100%. So this record, we're gonna check out a little bit of it, because I never play the entire song because I encourage people to go run the streams up, go watch the video if it's available. That's important to me. These artists really need your support. Whether you have Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, wherever you subscribe, make sure you go stream it. It's called Sex in Atlanta, but like she said, child, we can have sex anywhere, but tonight we having sex in Atlanta. Who produced this one?
K Major.
Big shout out to K Major, man. That is such a phenomenal team over there. K Major, like you said, Buggy Beats, and anybody else that's involved. Shout out to those guys for sure. But before we get up out of here, we are going to check out a little bit of this record. Now, is there anything else that you want to make sure you tell everybody that we may have missed?
No, I think they have everything. Like I said, a lot of visuals about to come down, so just be prepared to be hit.
I know that's right. Well, thank you so much. Air hugs. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. But we're about to go ahead and get into this record, you guys. Stay tuned.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Get out of there, buddy.
Yeah, yeah. Looked around and caught a flight, cause I want some good. And I wanna take my time when I'm in your hood. So this weekend, put it on me. Do it slowly. Take your hands off of that champagne. Put them on me. Cause you know what I like when I'm out of town. As soon as we get to the room, I just touch down. Get ready. For sex in Atlanta. Ooh, best sex that you had goes down.
Y'all, this is my record.
Ooh, best sex that you had. Chi-town girl gon' drive you crazy. Chi-town on your tongue, tell me how it tastes. Yeah, I was soaking wet on the plane. Now, baby, come and play. We can do it fast or slow. So this we can put it on me. Do it slowly. Take your hands off of that champagne. Put them on me, yeah. Cause you know what I like when I'm out of town. As soon as I step in the room, I just touch down. Get ready.
Let me tell you something. If that song don't get you in the mood, I don't know what will. I mean, like, I get chills and tingly just listen to it. That is such a beautiful song. Like, and you delivered it smooth like butter. Like, it's so perfect. You really, really, really did your thing on that record. It's so beautiful. And it's got a whole lot of sex appeal about it. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait for the whole world to hear this record. Like, the whole world needs to hear this record. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you all are having sex in Atlanta, you need to do it to this record. I'm just saying, there's gonna be babies made off of this record. I'm saying you might get summons for child support. Oh.
It's one of those records. It really is.
It's so beautiful. Well, thank you again for taking some time with us tonight. If anybody chimed in a little bit late, this will remain permanently on the Industry's Most Wanted YouTube channel. So definitely go back and stream the entire interview. But we about to get out of here, you guys.
All right.